Good morning, everybody. It's Brooke with Mrs. Cog Hill Farm on a hot and beautiful day in Alabama. Hope the weather is cooperating where you are. I'm kind of ready for some cooler temperatures. Oh goodness, the mouth of the South. Well, if you must talk, talk loud. Right, Loki? Got quite a crew this morning waiting on feeding time. Here comes Thomas the turkey. He doesn't run, he wobbles. Everybody's ready for breakfast this morning, including Scott and not Scott. Not Scott and not Scott. We can't. Goodness gracious. I'm just gonna be quiet and feed y'all. And then everybody will be quiet. Watch out, girl. There we go. Or maybe they won't be quiet. Okay, y'all. Well, Loretta and Gus, I have a special treat for y'all, and that is some bananas that are past their prime. Now, some of y'all may say, well, Brooke, you ought to make banana bread with those bananas. But y'all, honestly, I do not have time today to be making banana bread. So, Loretta, you got a banana this morning. Gus, we're not gonna leave you out, buddy. Loretta's gotta take off with it. So y'all are having breakfast before you have your, or having dessert before you have your breakfast. Go girl, run with it. You are a mess. You are a mess. And it never fails. This crew comes over to visit the pigs because they think whatever they have is better than the other. Now you see Loki here, he got him a bite of banana, and he's kind of doing like what Loretta usually does, and that's running with it. Hey baby, I don't have any more bananas, but I will get y'all some mini pig feed here. Yep. I got banana all over my legs. There you go, girl. All right, look here. Y'all see my banana hanging off my legs? Thanks, girl. I appreciate that. Well, you and Gus enjoy your breakfast, and we're gonna head on over and show folks what we've been doing. So if y'all will notice, right here is where I had the two big piles of dirt. And those two big piles of dirt are gone. They are replaced with some old hay that I've had stored away for a rainy day. And we did put some seed down. It's probably too late in the season for it to come up and stay up, but we had the seed, so we went ahead and got it put down first. And Caden, our little farm helper, came along and covered it all up with some hay. But y'all, I got my first real long-term use out of Bobby C, and that's our skid steer. I can operate that thing with ease, and I feel comfortable doing it. So got a lot of time in moving those piles of dirt, and here was the big thing that I did with it. So I've showed y'all time and time again this area where Nugget and Goldie reside and the geese. It's the pond area, and it was where my mom's tiny house was. So the ground was so compacted over here. It was nothing but rocks, and there was no way anything was gonna grow. My plan was, when I got those two piles of dirt, was to haul it over to the dam on the pond. But obviously, we wanna get some work done on the pond. We wanna put some bentonite in the bottom of it to help hold the water in, and I said, that's a long way to go with that dirt. So I think I'm gonna get Mr. Greg to bring me some more dirt and actually haul it to the dam. We'll put a gate in on that other side because it's so far to move all that dirt that I was tired of looking at it. I got all the dirt moved, two piles of dirt. Nugget and Goldie have been in the other pasture because of the new piece of equipment, the Lane Shark. I was able to limb up some trees and everything looks so much better in this area. And before you know it, this will be covered up with good topsoil, which is already there, and hopefully some grass will take root. It may not be this season, but it's not going to wash away. The dirt will be here, and I can indeed reseed it next year if needed. You know, I got my trusty dog with me. I don't know where she's going. She looks like she's on a mission. She might be headed back home. We hadn't been to the barn yet. She might have gave up on me. But needless to say, I am happy to have all that dirt moved. It was just on my mind sitting there looking at those piles of dirt, knowing how far I was going to go with it. And finally I figured out that I probably just needed to get some more dirt at a later time after we do our pond work and worry about that part later. This part's taken care of for now. So Nugget and Goldie are still in the other pasture because we're using the lane shark, and well, that thing can be kind of dangerous if you're near it. And emus are curious creatures, so there's no way that they're going to stay away from the tractor while that's in use. So hopefully this afternoon we can get them moved back into their original pasture that is in with the pond, and maybe get the horses moved back over here. So if you guys listened to our live this past Tuesday, I was talking about an old pallet jack that we picked up at an auction here in town, and the pallet jack was seized up. I didn't pay very much for it, and I did not know if it was operable when I bought it. So here we are. I went to town and I picked up some hydraulic oil and put it in this pallet jack, and lo and behold, the hydraulic system started working again. We have the skid steer that we can get the pallets off of the truck, but we've got to be able to move those pallets from the front side of the truck to the loading dock area in order to pick them up. So, you know, I've been thinking, I certainly don't want to go buy a pallet jack if we don't have to, if we can fix this one. So Jason and I got to looking last night, and we knew that the wheels were seized up on this old pallet jack. We have got it upside down and we have lubricated everything to where it's starting to move freely again. We do have to get these wheels off, we think, and replace it with some new ones. But hey, if we are gonna be able to revamp this old pallet jack and reuse it versus buying a new one, that's what we're all about. Well, good morning, boss lady. You sure are vocal this morning. All right, let me get you and Miss Pocket's food ready. I saw her standing outside waiting at her bucket. You are waiting on the inside because you know that's where you're gonna be fed. So let me get that prepared for you, and I'll get your breakfast delivered. I gotta get Pocket's allergy pills added to her feed. Well, aren't y'all a beautiful family this morning? Everybody up here ready to eat their breakfast. It has become routine that everybody comes for breakfast. Moody first. All right, make sure this fence is off. Double check. Here you go. There's yours. All right, now Tater and Little Man. A little bit more down here in case somebody tries to get Matilda's. All right, here you go, baby. So we make sure that she gets her medicine. Just like that. So while I'm back here in this back area behind the barn, I'm looking at this grass back here thinking, well, looks like it needs to be cut. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna let the goats and Jessie and the emus have free range to this area back here today after the cows finish eating, so there's no chance that they try to get their food through the fence. And they can take care of some of this tall grass back here. You see the three cats, the three barn cats. I don't know if y'all can see them, or there they went. Sylvester and Biscuit are playing, and Bramble's crouched down in the grass. But you can see that the grass has grown quite a bit back here because there's no animals. And we're gonna get them to take care of that for us. I've talked about the barn swallows that we have that were born here, and they're gone, y'all. It's time for them to have left, and they have done just that. All of our swallows that are here in Alabama have just about all left. Now, in a few minutes, we're gonna go see about another kind of swallow, and that was the purple martins. All right, Dee Dee, so I plan to let the goats, Jessie, and the emus back here. So I'm gonna have to shut these doors. You can come out here if you want to, but she has a tendency to not particularly care for the emus. She doesn't like them pecking on her, and I kind of don't blame her. So we're gonna get these doors shut and let the rest of the crew out. All right, fellas, we got a little something new in mind today, and I know how y'all feel about new things. You just act a little bit crazy. So here we are, opening up the back side of the barn for you boys. You're not gonna be out here eating grass, but you might find some insects, right, Opie? You might find some good insects out here that are not in the back pasture. Now, y'all gonna come back over here. I'm not gonna make y'all stay in this area, but I'm gonna give you the ability to go over there if you want to. Nope, back to my original spot. Back to my original spot. Okay, goats. Where are Jessie and, oh, there they are. Jessie and Honey are in the back pasture. There goes Opie. Opie said, let me stretch my legs out this morning, Mama. Gotta stretch my legs out this morning. Oh, he's dancing. He's dancing. And the goats didn't waste any time because they are explorers and they know this gate's open and they gotta figure out what in the world's going on over here. Why is this gate open? Here comes Ernest T. He said, there's my buddies. There's my buddies. Yep, they didn't waste any time. Hey, Tip. Tip's the last one, oldest one here. Goats are gonna take care of this grass back here. Goats are more foragers. People think that you can put goats in grass, and that's more for sheep. They're gonna eat the grass, but goats are intended to have forage, and that's something that they have back in the wood area. But today, their goal is to eat some grass. Come on, Opie, join the crew. What's gonna happen is he's gonna think he's left out. He's not gonna realize that his buddy Ernest T's in this other pasture. Emus are just really not the sharpest tools in the shed. They get separated from each other and they just don't know how to get through the fence. So I wanna make sure that he knows that his buddies are through this gate and doesn't feel, go on, doesn't feel left out. They also don't like you trying to steer them and showing them where to go. There we go. Go through there. There you go. Now, your buddy's over there. You see him? He's checking things out. Your hair sure is looking good this morning. Sticking straight up. Yeah, that's your bowl. I put it up there so the goats wouldn't think there was food in it. It's empty, buddy. It's all empty. Look at there. See? Nothing in it. You see your reflection? Ow. Honey had to get her a scrub on the scratching post as she walked by. Come on, Jessie. Come on, we got to get swimming pools cleaned out. Come on, honey. You didn't waste any time, did you? Come on, Jessie. There you go. Everybody can enjoy this taller grass. All right, now I got to get a swimming pool over here and get it cleaned out. The water's just on the other side of the fence, but I want to make sure they have water where I open the gate, because who knows if they'll figure out they need to come back through. It's gonna be a hot one today and we don't want to take any chances. All right, crew, looks like y'all are gonna do a good job taking care of some of this grass back here. I hope I'm right. What you doing, Curtis? Fifi. All right, Dee Dee. You did indeed come all the way to the barn with me. You enjoy taking care of the chores, and now we got to go back to the house and look at something. So I told y'all we were going to talk about another kind of swallow, and that is the purple martin. While it doesn't have swallow in its name, it's still a type of swallow, which is barn swallow, cliff swallows. There's lots of different types of swallows, and our purple martins have left. And I wanted to lower the house like I did last year, but this year I'm not going to take the gourds off like I did last year. The gentleman that helped us with this, Mr. Gerald, who is local to our hometown of Selma, Alabama, he suggested that we take the gourds down and put them back up next year. But y'all, it was just, I feel like we were too late in doing that. And so this year, what I plan to do is simply lower the pole. I'm going to look in the gourds, see what kind of nesting material that they had. I am going to clean them out because that's what he told me to do. And then we're just going to leave them on the pole lowered. No other bird's going to utilize their nest if the pole's lowered and not in a position where it's encouraging nesting. So here it is, and I have reached out to Mr. Gerald to make us another pole, but it's simply been too hot for him to do that. So we are going to get another pole, and we are going to put it back here with this one per his suggestion, so we can keep increasing the number of purple martins that we have nesting here and have enough houses. Now, I don't know how many exactly we had nesting here last year, but I think we'll be able to look inside these gourds and see their nesting material and maybe come to a determination of how many we had. And they will come back next year, and they will bring their young with them, and their young will use this place as well to reproduce and just call this their home. So we want to encourage that, and we want to make sure we have enough nesting spots. So y'all know that we love to help local people, and this gentleman is no exception. He is local to our community of Selma, and he cannot ship these poles. So I hope you guys understand that. To those that have reached out to me and are interested in buying one of these contraptions, it's just not something that he can do. He can't ship them, but we're very proud to support him and to help him with his local business. He's a welder, so this is not the only thing he does. He enjoys helping people increase the purple martin. So it's just like a fishing pole or a boat mechanism where I'm going to lower the contraption. Is that what I'm doing? Yes, I'm lowering it. And we're going to look in these houses and see what we come up with. So I can see right off the bat that this one has some nesting material in the front of it. And I'm going to open the door and clean it out so it can be ready to be used for next year. All right, so this one doesn't look like it had anything nesting in it. So let's go on around. Oh, that one's tough. Oh goodness, that one has some dirt daubers. You never know what you're gonna find. Dirt daubers won't sting. They simply use the mud to build their nest, and I'm not scared of them, so we're just gonna close that back up and let them do their thing. So I found one that definitely was used for nesting site, and I'll show y'all how I know that, because it really is different than the rest of them. The ones that I've cleaned out so far have just had the leaves in it that we put in there to encourage them to nest in there. But this one, it's quite different. So we do want to clean it out, even though you may think that's not the best idea. Let's see if I can't get it out in a halfway one piece here. Let's see what all they used to make their nest. You can see there's no shells left because they did discard of those, but looks like some straw and some hay and some leaves. And there definitely was a clutch produced in this gourd. So we're gonna get it all cleaned out and taken down and cleaned up. I'll wash that one out and get it ready for next year. And here we go again. Right beside that one is another nesting site, and they are community birds. So being together when they raise their young is important. And you can see that that nest was very similar to the last one. Just a lot of hay and straw and leaves and no eggshells. They obviously cleaned their nest out after their young were born. And we'll get this one cleaned up too. Well, this is quite interesting. Upon cleaning this one out, there was a little tree frog inside of this one. And it makes me wonder how in the world, well, I mean, I know frogs can climb and such, but why in the world did he climb up this pole to go inside this purple martin birdhouse? Because the pole was extended probably 25 foot in the air. Little buddy, I don't think you want to live in there. It's got to be awfully hot. You make your own decision. I'm going to put the cap back on it and enjoyed your visit today. I think we have found nest number 3. It is definitely a little bit different than the others. I'm not sure if a purple martin made this one or if it was some other bird, but needless to say, its nest is a little bit different than the other ones. So I don't know if I would say that this was a purple martin that built here, but if it was, we have 3 pair that did indeed reproduce here this year. Well, now my help arrives. I just finished and Rocky decided to pay me a visit. You're a little bit too late, buddy. Little bit too late. So I can confirm that we had 2 pair of purple martins nesting this season. We may have had 3. It's kind of odd to me that that 3rd one was on the bottom row. The nest looked a little different than the other 2, and it was separated. So I don't know. We may have had 3 pair nesting this year, but needless to say, I'm glad to have the gourds cleaned out. And some of you may say, well, why do you do that? Well, it's what Mr. Gerald told me to do. He told me to clean and disinfect the gourds that were nested in the previous year to discourage bacteria growth and whatnot, and discourage other birds from using this for a nesting spot. It's the reason that you take them down at the end of the year. And it looks like our little buddy here, well, he's hopping around, I can't even show him, is going to call this his home for the winter. Who knows what his plans are? I don't even know if you guys can see him, but he's hopped around to the side of this gourd, and whatever his intentions are. And since I'm back here in the back area, I thought I would show you guys the bees and how active they are this morning on a hot summer Alabama day. They are just buzzing and doing their thing, bringing in pollen and getting ready for the winter. That's a lot of bees and a lot of activity. And they're very docile. All the bees that we have here in these hives are very docile. I can cut grass around them. I've never had any issues. And it literally smells like honey when you approach these hives, which I guess it should, but just the smell is incredible when you get over close to these bees. And the last thing is just a reminder to keep those hummingbird feeders cleaned out and full of sugar water for the beautiful, there's one right there, birds that we still have visiting for their long journey south for the winter. And when you stop seeing birds, you can take those feeders down and pack them up for the winter. But right now we still have an abundance of hummingbirds. Well, Dee Dee and I hope that whatever you do today, you enjoy it. Enjoy, well, some cool air. Right, Dee Dee? I think Dee Dee's ready to go in and get cooled off herself, and I appreciate each and every one of y'all, and just y'all be good. Right, Dee Dee?